How's it going, guys? Zoro Fanboy 124 here, and I'm here today with some other great reviewers to talk about, of course, Game of Thrones. If you guys think that this is the episode, then you're fucking wrong. It's not the episode. It's a review for the episode. You can see the title review, so don't judge us. Right? So it is what it is. But anyway, this episode, of course, it wasn't going to be as good as last episode. Last episode was just awesome in a lot of different ways. I mean, I think that there was some good things in this episode that are worth addressing, obviously, but it was more of a setup. That's the way I felt about it. But I will say that for me, Tywin owned this entire fucking episode. Tywin is just
Tywin owns every episode.
He does. Well, I think there was this one big scene you could say about the rape, a little bit.
Yo, we're gonna get to that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We gotta order of things. I'm very new to this retro Shinigami. We're gonna order to things, okay? But yeah, Tywin just owned this episode. But before we get into what actually happened, let's obviously talk about who's here today. We have first off Jim from Jim's Nerd Nation. Say hello.
Hello. Hello. Glad to be here, man. This is the one show I can say for me anyway. I feel like it's getting better every week. So I just feel like every episode I don't know. I'm enjoying the plot lines and the stories more and how everything's weaving together. And so far this season, man, every episode for me has been just a little bit better, just that much better, So
definitely. Next we have a new addition this week. We have Retro Shinigami. Say hello.
How's it going? I don't make any videos anymore because I got lazy. I just got lazy.
Yeah, we've all been there. We've all been there. We have the guy that's not smoking weed, walking Double O Dead.
Bonjour.
And finally, our resident book knowledge person, for the most part, XaladinPalantir. Although I'm sure X-Wing will be sure to tell me that he hasn't read book 1 and talk shit, but he knows his shit. All right, Xalad, say hello.
Yo, what's up? I'm just gonna say right now, they messed up a few things this episode that were really bad, but it was a good episode. It was a good episode, though.
Yeah, I was told one scene in particular, and we can kind of jump from just I really want to talk about this. Apparently, in the books, Jaime doesn't actually rape Cersei.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's one thing I want to address, and that's interesting.
It literally him raping her goes against like everything about his character, which is I don't know why they included it.
I just don't see what it adds to it. Maybe that he's so desperate for the poon after so long that
I know what they're trying to do.
Fucking over their dead son's body. Like, yeah.
It was odd because like the first 15 to 30 seconds, I was like, okay, she's into it. She's not into it. Oh, she's playing hard to get. And then I was like, no, he's fucking raping her. Yeah, I'm sitting there watching her, just like, wow, man. I was like squirming, just sitting there watching it. It was uncomfortable,
Really uncomfortable to watch.
I'm watching it. And I'm like, Mom, don't come in the room because it's gonna be so weird.
I was watching it with my family.
He's all kicked up, Zoro, Grandmama. Zoro's sitting there like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. So yeah.
Raping that woman.
I mean, like I can think of a few things they were going for, but it didn't really work.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the things they might have been going for, they didn't want to make it look like rape, but because if you didn't notice, like Cersei, she was saying no, but she was still like,
give it.
Her body was saying yes.
She was saying no, but she was still spreading her legs and saying yes inside. Yeah.
I think they were trying to build sympathy for her, but she's such a fucking bitch. It's like, nah, it's not gonna work. I don't care if she's getting raped.
No one cares about it.
But and I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with his relationship with both her and Tywin, and him having to choose. Maybe something along those lines as well, because obviously she wants Jaime to kill Tyrion, murder him essentially. But the way I see it, I don't see how Tyrion can get out of this. He looks completely guilty. But like I said, we'll get into that when the time comes. The episode starts off with Sansa fleeing the scene, obviously, and Rick was correct. Rick was right. He was absolutely right. He's not here right now. But last week he basically said that Littlefinger probably had something to do with this, which he in fact did. Sansa is brought by the fool to Littlefinger on a boat, and Littlefinger just fucking kills that dude. I love that.
Was it Sir Dantos, right? Sir Dantos was his name?
I don't think he was worthy of a name.
I kept screwing up his name and forgetting, and then he was fairly important there at the end of last week because he whisked Sansa away, and I was just like, the idiot guy, Sir Dantos, I couldn't remember his name, so I just kind of mumbled it out,
Right.
But
and I love
the face of a crossbow.
My question is like, because they can't talk loud. Like, so where are they actually? Because like she said, don't talk too loud or they'll hear us. So they can be.
They're still in the harbor. He's still docked up in the harbor. Yeah.
Oh, they're still in the harbor. Okay.
Yeah, so they're probably still within, I would think, a few hundred yards of, and plus you got to think they got patrol boats out even in the flood, keeping ships from leaving now at this point. So they don't want to be discovered even if they are just outside that ring. That's kind of how I took it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. They couldn't have been that far. I mean, they rode in a rowboat.
Yeah, as a rowboat. So I was thinking maybe like tops like a half mile or something, you know. I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. There's no way they could have gotten too far.
My other question is like, where are they gonna go? Because like they're on like this, like dinky ass like pirate ship.
Isn't Littlefinger going to was it Harrenhal?
Like, yeah, I think so. He's going somewhere. Shit, I
remember. He'd be Lord of Harrenhal now, right?
Yeah, well, he's Lord of Harrenhal, but if he's got Sansa now, then you know who knows what his plans are, because technically he can go and I mean, if he gets some people, if he winds up going to the Vale, like he was going to with Lysa Arryn. And trying to hook up with her or whatever. They were talking originally last season that he would then be Lord of the Vale, but then if he Sansa being the last or the next Stark in line or whatever that they're aware of, if she married, wouldn't he be Lord of the North or whatever, which is still in chaos right now because of the Greyjoy rebellion and all that. So I don't know. And then you get that Roose Bolton who wound up stabbing Robb Stark in the heart, literally, and he's been promised the North by Tywin, you know, so it's a clusterfuck. I love it, man. It's great.
It really is. I don't think he would take Sansa unless he had some means to use her for his own benefit, obviously. So that makes complete sense. That makes complete sense. And like I said, the same thing with like I said with what Rick said last week about Littlefinger playing a role and the necklace. We were talking about the necklace last week and how it's pretty much likely that the necklace had something to do with Joffrey's poisoning. And we learned in this episode that fucking Littlefinger is a fake necklace. And so, I mean, I think it's pretty much set in stone. Well, not set in stone, but it's for me, it's pretty obvious that I think Littlefinger, maybe with the help of Olenna Tyrell, I believe her name is.
Olenna, yeah.
That's what I think. Littlefinger says that he had it freshly made, and then she says, like 2 episodes ago, go out and find the newest made necklace or whatever. So obviously, she's definitely got something to do with it.
Yeah, I really do. And kind of transitioning to the next part of the episode is actually her talking to Marjorie, basically saying something along the lines of, you're much better off now than you were before. She was basically saying that this is for the best. So it kind of makes her seem even more guilty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That she wants to marry the younger one, Thomas or whatever. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I really feel like she probably obviously was the one that did it. At first I thought maybe it would be Marjorie herself that maybe had hand in it, but it seemed like she wasn't this episode. More of a
old lady Tyrell. Could I ask real quick, though, I just thought about this earlier today, and maybe I'm overlooking something. The royal wedding, do you think that, what was the need for the whole ruse of even sneaking in a necklace and then having Olenna do that? Could she have not just brought that small pellet in with her in her glove or something like that? I mean, did they strip search everybody on the way into the royal wedding?
That's true.
Like, I was just thinking about earlier today, and I was like, what was the whole smoke and mirrors, cloak and dagger stuff, man? Like, when, honestly, anybody could have walked in with that, right? I mean, you could have...
She could have had it on herself.
Yeah,
I don't know those big dresses.
There's a reason for that, but
okay. All right, well that's fine. Don't reveal.
Okay, I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I was just, my mind was thinking, man, these are the things that kept me out of the really good schools.
The way that I was thinking about it, like, since it was so plain in sight, you know what I'm saying, and it would make more sense. I mean, if she did get captured with it on her, she would be incriminated, right? But it's not on her. It was on Sansa the entire time, so if
that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That way, even if she somehow was caught and like, oh, what's that? They could have just said, oh.
Yeah, well, and they knew that they knew that they were gonna pull Sansa out of there right after and everything like that. So make sure that the evidence leaves with the scapegoat, So. And honestly, right now, that looks very bad for her because Tyrion even said, he's like, it looks bad for me. My wife is gone, and so.
Looks really bad. So. Yeah, incriminates him even further, which is crazy, man. But I want to point out before we move on, the one statement made by Littlefinger. I think he said something along the lines of, "Gold will buy a man silence for a time, but a crossbow to the heart buys it for a lifetime."
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, but a bolt to the heart buys it forever.
Yeah,
love that.
Littlefinger's
awesome. And with that little sinister mustache, man, he always just delivers those lines, and you're just like, oh, he's like creepy and cool. And
as soon as the guy said, "Oh, can I have 10,000 gold?" I'm like, this guy's not getting 10,000 gold.
Yeah, no.
Nah. He's like, yo, give me my money.
He's not giving you money.
Like, come on, kill this guy.
Oh my god, dude.
Kill this guy.
If I was him, I would have just started sailing away like as fast as possible.
He would have just got killed 15 feet from the ship then, you know? His big drunk ass trying to roll out of there.
I don't like drunks or fools.
Now that I think about it, how many men does Littlefinger have? He doesn't have that many, right?
I don't think he's an army. No. He doesn't have them.
I mean,
I
he
think
pretty much
He's going
has,
to the Vale, so he might get some
I mean,
sort of army.
he has like unlimited money pretty much to buy anyone's like he can pretty much make anyone do anything for him if they care about money.
Well, and also he's been given Harem Hall, which, as far as I know, would come with probably its own. I mean, it's not a huge, but servants and probably some guard and everything like that.
Right.
I mean, that's a whole the lands and title. That's what comes with it. I assume it comes fully furnished. You know what I mean? So.
And on top of that, if he does in fact marry Sansa Stark, people that in the North, since she is the rightful heir, I guess you could say, to the North because she's a Stark, they would flock to his cause. You know what I'm saying? People.
Or if he does go to the Vale with Sansa, Lysa Arryn, although she's crazy, still I'm sure she's heard now because of the Ravens and everything. All the Starks dropping left and right and thinking now, my sister Caitlyn's dead, my nephew's dead, and Sansa coming there with Littlefinger. I mean, I think that would be like a great. Hey, by the way, here's your long lost niece that you thought was going to be dead. And I think that might be his in to be like, let's get married, just a political marriage, straight up. I'll be Lord of the Vale, and then we'll take back the North, or or maybe team up with that Roose Bolton or whatever, and go against the crown, Because I liked what they said about Littlefinger, man, being the most dangerous man in Westeros. He's what they say that all you need is a land and titles and an army, and Littlefinger's got the first two, So. I don't know. Right now, to me, he's the scariest guy in the kingdom.
Even though that, I still don't see him being the one that takes anything down. He's going to fail. I can't see him. Can't see him winning.
He just does seem like one of those guys that are destined to fail.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of those sub-main eventers. he's not quite.
He's determined though. You gotta he pull himself up by his bootstraps, boy. He's let you know every time that I was made fun of and picked on as a child, but now look at me. I run all the brothels in King's Landing.
Dude, I've been given harem. I used to love the conversations with him and Varys. Those conversations were amazing. I love them so much.
Yeah, they're gold every time.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Chaos is a ladder.
It's a ladder. Chaos is a ladder.
Oh,
that's just good.
Your Littlefinger voice.
That's good, Zora. I'll give you that one.
It's like a ladder. It's so good. It's so good. All right. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the first, obviously, moving past the whole Marjorie and Olenna Tyrell thing. There really isn't much to really talk about that. Pretty much that we need to say about that. After that was the conversation between Joffrey's brother, which his name escapes me. Does anyone remember? Thomas, excuse me. And obviously and Tywin about what makes a good king. And this was the best part of the episode for me.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It was really
Talk
good.
about king, holiness, justice, power. Power was represented by Robert. Look what happened to him. He went to 3 small council meetings in the past 10 years.
And just off the top of his head, Tywin goes and pulls out, like, he's got an answer for everything. And I'm just like, man, take this kid to school, Tywin,
It was great, man. It was great. I wasn't aware of the other 2 kings.
I thought those Sodro Sata fucking flashbacks of the strong surviving the weak of dying, all that sort of shit. I was like, oh, Tywin.
Yeah, I forgot the 2 other kings' names.
Yeah, who were the first 2 kings that he was talking about? The king about holiness and the king
about Baelor the Blessed.
Yeah.
Okay, and the justice one. The king.
One where his brother killed him.
Forgot about that one.
See, I'm not really caught on the past so much of the.
I'm telling you, if you guys want the full lore, you guys gotta wiki it or read the books. If you don't feel like it, but
keep in mind anyone. Right. I definitely think so, but
yeah, I'm going to do the books in the off season after this season here, but I'm not in a rush to go and read the books and then complain about everything that's different in the show, because then I'm going to have a basis for comparison. I did that with The Walking Dead, watched the show, then read the comics, and I'm constantly in my mind going, this should have been here, and this would be better here, and you know what I mean. So I'm going to wait till the off season, but I've been watching a lot and trying to learn as much as I can about the history and the background.
That's the only thing I don't like, how they don't do the history that much, but It's really good though. They like touch on it. They don't like go in.
Hey, you never know if Game of Thrones to catch up to the books, they can make a season.
A prequel. Yeah.
No
Seasons.
Dude, I would love to see it.
It's better than nothing, Dad. You know what I'm saying? It's better than nothing.
I'd rather wait.
Well, it would be weird. It would be weird making like
a prequel, man.
If you notice, there are no flashbacks in
or a spin-off
series.
That's true.
Oh, that's a slippery slope. That is the spin-off, the flash, and the
I mean, why not? Why not do like a Hobbit kind of thing, but like a TV show?
They call it Robert's Road to the Throne.
Yeah, why not? I wouldn't mind it. But yeah, keep in mind, people, that I don't think anybody else here reads the books except for Xaladin. So when it comes to certain parts of the lore of the Game of Thrones world, we're a little bit, kind of still learning about things. So
I know a little bit of it. Like I watched like an hour video of like the past, so I know some of it.
Yeah, I've been watching that stuff on the Blu-ray sets too, and trying to pick up on stuff and just watch different videos and piece everything together. And I'm still, I still fumble over a name or two here or there, but I feel like every week I'm getting a little smarter.
Oh, you know what's funny actually that I just remembered? Tywin was like, King Robert was at like 3 small council meetings in 18 years or something.
17 or 18 years.
17 years. It was hilarious.
I like how he said that line about Joffrey too, and he goes, he was not a good king nor a wise king.
Yeah.
He wasn't a wise king. He was a good king.
Cersei's face,
if he was, maybe he'd still be alive. That was the kicker for me, man. That was the nail in the heart. Because Cersei tried with one half-hearted attempt to stop him, and she was like, "This is not the place," and he just kept going on. And he's so powerful that, like, if I was in the room, I would have been like, "Shit, man, I ain't gonna say nothing to you, Tywin." I mean, if you remember his ass at Sansa and Tyrion's wedding, some people were snickering. He turned his head, and the whole room. I mean, like their throats are. They're like, oh fuck.
No one fucks with Tywin.
That's what happens.
He just has such a commanding presence, and the way he delivers the lines is just—it's so spot on.
That scene, his character went up a couple of notches just for that scene in one book. Oh yeah.
I loved him from the first moment they showed him when he was talking with Jaime in the first season. He's freaking butchering that deer or whatever while he's doing the scene.
By the way, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Like I said, anytime I see him on screen, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. But I just want to say, like, if you're not gonna go over it, probably in the series. But if you look up anything, I would say look up Tywin's backstory. I don't think they're gonna go over it, but if you look up anything, I would look up that.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I'd be interested because he's a great character.
He's just awesome, man. He just exudes awesomeness. You know what I'm saying?
His backstory is just like, wow.
They've got so many stoic, strong characters like that, though, man. I mean, like Commander Mormont. I mean, he stole the show whenever he was in his scenes. He was just like this gruff, cool, like stoic old dude, And you were just like, wow, he talks. I want to listen, So they've got a few of these in the show, but Tywin is the strongest for me.
Yeah. That scene did remind me of like Cersei saying in the first season of you play the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die sort of thing when Joffrey was there dead. It just came into my head.
Dad's like, ha, I told you, bitch.
Imagine if Joffrey was king without Tywin there. Imagine how much of a mess it would be. Oh my God.
Dude, he wouldn't be king anymore. It should be rebellion.
Tywin was the only person holding shit together.
Wait, I mean, Stannis would be king right now.
Yeah.
No, I mean like without Tywin telling him what to do. I mean, basically. I mean, Tywin's pretty much been the king this whole time if you think about it.
Yeah.
Joffrey hasn't been doing
he just doesn't wear the crown, but don't think for a minute that he hasn't made almost all the major decisions.
Yeah, I mean, Tywin said something along the lines of talking to Tyrion, like, you really think that Joffrey's the strongest man in Westeros right now? Like, he's like, it's fucking me, right? It's fucking me. I'm running shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
It's like that scene when he's on the Iron Throne and he comes up and he just speaks to Joffrey like absolute shit. Joffrey can't do anything, even though he's the king.
He's the only person that can talk down to. I mean, not even this kid's own mom can talk down to him. Not even his mom or his dad can talk down to him, but Tywin just says like "fuck you," basically.
Basically, pretty much. So, great scene from Tywin. We'll move on to his conversation with Oberyn afterwards. But after that, we get the scene with Jaime and Cersei. We kind of touched on this a little bit before, but yeah, I don't know. It was just
the Casca treatment.
Really, yeah. I said it on Facebook.
I wouldn't go that far.
I went on Facebook. I said that he summoned his inner Griffith this episode. You know what I'm saying? He just went in, and I was not expecting that.
Here's the thing, though. She was saying no, but her body was saying yes. Like, she would, like, you could, like, she was like, no, stop, oh, no, like, no.
To,
like, her body was like,
to the untrained eye, it was 100% rape. I would say.
Yeah,
Nah,
because
actually,
what I
To the
saw
untrained eye.
No,
Like,
what I
you
saw
know-
there is what I always like. It's like picture like when they talk about like somebody being raped. I mean, yeah, and you know what? That's exactly what rapists say. You know what I mean? She was saying no, but her body said yes. You know, that just sounds like such a.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
but Cersei's a crazy bitch. You can actually believe that if someone says it about Cersei.
And I believe Cersei's a little fucked up and freaky too. I just believe it was completely portrayed in like, I mean, it looked like he was wrestling her down, and I thought he was gonna cold cock her with that fucking metal hand and just fuck her to a sleep corpse, or not corpse,
Yeah.
body, you know, or just lifeless.
The sounds didn't help.
Yeah.
I think Jamie like planned it from the start. As soon as he walked into that chamber, he goes to those people. He's like, "Get out."
He's like, get
He
up.
has to be alone.
I'm getting some. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he's
get
like,
my
you know,
pee wet tonight.
I
don't know,
hate that scene so much. Oh my god, I hate that scene. Being a Jamie fan.
Yeah, and I really like Jamie as a character too. He really in last season he went from my he's all right to man, I really like this guy. I really felt for him and his past and just just some of the things he's been through. And I'm still not really cool on the whole brother fucker thing, but whatever. So it is what it is. I try to get past that and give him a pass on that, but then man, that scene, like I said, maybe it was just poorly acted out or something like that.
maybe, yeah. That's what I was
It's
thinking.
weird because like
But I don't think I'm the only one that thinks that. I've been seeing that everywhere in the comments and recaps, and everybody's been reporting on him. This is like,
I thought that was the same bit with the Hound, like later on, but we'll talk about that. Sort of,
Yeah, it kind of set their
What he does.
characters back a little bit.
Yeah.
It set Jamie's character back. I think quite a bit. And how is it portrayed in the books exactly, Sam? If you can like
in the books,
clear things up for us, yeah.
in the books, you could even say that. I mean, you could argue that it was like 50-50, like they both agreed to. It was 0% rapey, 0%. Actually, okay. Let me say this. They started to like make out. They actually started to have sex, and Cersei in the books was like, "We probably shouldn't." Basically, she said we probably shouldn't, but she made no decisive move to stop. It was consensual in the books. It was just consensual.
And when she tried to go and stop it, were they already like mid fuck, or were they still just like heavy making out?
They were mid fuck. They were mid fuck.
Oh, that you can't do that, man. You can't just be like, I changed my mind. That I don't think that's right. Oh, that's terrible.
Giving guys blue balls everywhere, man.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, yeah, that would be bad.
And mixed stroke.
And he hasn't gotten. If you remember, he hasn't gotten some for like months.
Months, a long time. He was captured for a year, so
And his jerkin hand is gone, so it's like, what do you do?
It's worse than balls. It's like purple balls.
some kind of balls. That's man.
Oh, but even though, I mean, just talking about the TV show alone, I mean, I don't feel any sympathy for Cersei in general, but you don't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Not when you're fucking right in front of your goddamn dead kid's corpse right there. Probably not the best time, Jamie. Probably not the best time. But, it is what it is.
I mean, the main reason it doesn't make sense is that, like, Jamie has, like, complained multiple times or, like, stopped people from being raped. Remember, he saved Brienne from being raped. He was mad that, well, this might be for a different reason, but he was mad that Robert used to basically rape Cersei when he was drunk. Like, stuff like that. And now he just rapes Cersei.
Speaking of that, the rape of Robert and Cersei, I believe there is another kid.
What?
I believe Robert and Cersei have a kid.
Think so?
I really do, because I think they lied about that.
I mean,
why would Cersei hide it?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just feel like that there was a kid.
I don't see why they would hide it though.
I don't even see how they can hide it.
Like Robert with another.
How could they possibly hide it? If Cersei is pregnant, they can't keep that a secret.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but it could be another like bastard in a sense. If there was gonna be a kid.
The only thing I can think of is the only way you could possibly be right is if because there was a kid, if you remember, that Robert and Cersei had, I think, but it died.
Yeah.
Because
like the first
remember
episode.
It was like season 1 or something.
Yeah, it was like that second episode.
Yeah, when Bran was unconscious,
Yep.
Yeah, and she told her that story about their firstborn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't see why they would.
If there's another kid, I'll be right. I'll be like, yeah, but yeah.
All right, yeah, you're right. You'll be right. Let's move on to the scene with the Hound. We see the Hound in this episode with Arya, and I don't know. It seems like Arya is maybe warming up to the Hound a little bit in the beginning of this episode. She even asked him like, "Where are you going after this?" She's actually some weird way, I don't know, concerned, or maybe I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
Could just have been the adrenaline still flowing from that ass kicking that they gave to them like 5 or 6 dudes in the bar, man.
I know, but even so, like,
it
I
could be
feel
like
like she's showing some respect.
What do they call it? Like Stockholm syndrome. Maybe she's getting a bit of that.
Well, I mean, to some degree, he is actually helping her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got her out of that whole situation with Rob. He got her. He's been technically helping her to a small extent.
And you got to remember, it takes months to travel from area to area. So like they've been literally on the road for like weeks now, at least. With each other. And regardless of what he gets out of it in a form of a reward, he's still protecting her from harm, which would not happen if she was alone walking around the countryside. Right. And so it's kind of a weird sort of twisted like relationship that they have, where it's like I don't think she quite likes him or cares for him too much, but it's just kind of like, well, and then especially as the scene progresses, you can see that, what she maybe thought about him just kind of went out the door, and she was like, you're a shithead,
Yeah.
So, or whatever,
If it wasn't for him, I think she would be dead, actually.
Yeah, I would think so too, man. You see how dangerous the countryside is for anybody.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit.
She's been in trouble multiple times already.
Westeros in general is a depressing ass fucking place to live, man, because even if you're a highborn in King's Landing, you're constantly in fear of being like, just backstabbed, double-crossed, poisoned, raped, whatever. And then, if you're one of the people that's just in the village, you saw what happened later on in the episode. I know I'm skipping ahead, but you guys remember, you see what happened when the wildlings, random bandits come upon you, and you're just minding your own fucking business, tending your wheat or whatever, dude.
That drive-by.
Nobody is safe, man. Winterfell's in ashes. Half the Stark family's dead. The other half is underage and wandering the fucking countryside. It's complete chaos, man. It's always cold and rainy where Stannis is. Oh, man. Anyways,
honestly, I would kill myself if I had to live where Stannis lives. Holy shit.
Probably burn you.
I apologize, you guys. I got a little off topic there on that, but I was just thinking about that. I was like, it's so like negative and depressing in many of the areas. Nobody's doing well, No,
they have no lights over there. It's always nighttime in fucking Stannis' house.
That's true. That is true. That's why they worship the Lord of Light. That's why they worship the Lord of Light, because they want some fucking light, man. It's so dark.
Someone needs to light a fucking fire or something.
Yeah, man, but it is pretty depressing, and I will admit, especially in the north right now, man. Shit's just going down everywhere. But yeah, so those people take in the Hound and Arya, feed them and everything, and I don't know, it was just kind of awkward. It was hilarious, the food scene where he's naming all the gods. He's like, all right, and the fucking god of shut the fuck up, let me eat my food.
You have to name all 7 of them.
Now that he's getting dialogue, he's absolutely tremendous. Just talk so much shit.
Fucking 7 of them. Oh man, that was great.
I work for fair wages. And then fucking beats him up. He takes his soul. I did him a favor. What the fuck? What kind of twist?
He's gonna be dead anyway.
They're gonna be dead anyway. Dead men can't spend silver.
I mean, it made sense, but for me, it's like we were saying about the whole Jamie thing. It's like over the last couple of episodes, I've been like warming up to him, thinking, yeah, okay, this guy's a cool guy, and then he does that. You're thinking, man, I mean,
yeah, he set a code that he established last episode, and then immediately broke that code in this episode.
Yeah.
It made sense. It made sense, though. I mean,
it did make sense to him. He's got his own kind of code, He makes sure.
Him as dead people.
See, two parts of his code intersected, and he had to make a choice.
As at least he didn't kill him. I mean, I guess to a certain extent.
What I was thinking is like, I agree with what he did, because I honestly don't think that guy had any use for money, anyways. And it wasn't his to begin with. But like, why do you have to like knock the dude down? Can you just overpower him and take the money? Like,
well, that's what he did though. He overpowered him with money.
Okay, they didn't show us
The
what
only
happened.
way that the Hound knows to do it by beating the shit out of someone.
Did he stab him or something?
didn't-
The Hound's not like a gentle tie you to the chair type of guy. Like he might not even know how to tie a knot, dude. This is.
He's not Littlefinger. He's not going to get the money through words. You know.
No, like I want to know though. Did he did one of two things? Either he took the guy and like slammed him against the wall, or he hit him. I want to know which one it was. Like what the fuck?
because he had freaking like piece of like a mark on his face. So he got punched, and then he was like grabbing his neck. So maybe like
Maybe he got
like,
strangled.
what happened? Did he punch him? Right in his
Give me that gold.
Or did he like strangle him and then I don't know.
Maybe he strangled him. Maybe he picked him up by the throat, slam against the wall, drop down.
Why do he have like a bruise on his face? Like he's all
Like,
bloody.
Hit
I
to the
don't
side.
understand. Like, if you're that much stronger than the dude, why do you have to do all that shit, man?
That is true. That is true.
It's like
Well, you
it's like
don't
an
really know
old
the
guy,
Hound
too.
for discretion, you know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But the way I see the Hound situation going, and this is kind of my own personal theory, they were talking about Dorne for a while, and that he wants to go as a sellsword across the narrow sea.
He's talking to Bravos, yeah.
Bravos,
He's like,
yeah.
I want to go to
Bravos,
Bravos.
not Dorne. Bravos, right? Bravo. Excuse me. And if obviously he's gonna try to take her to the Vale to see her aunt. But I don't know. I can't see things working out that way. Like it would make sense if somehow something went down in the Vale.
He wants to go to Bravos anyway.
Exactly. So if something happens in the Vale, and either they don't take her or some shit went down, and he has to say, "Oh fuck," and then just go straight to
I still think they're going to run into what's the guy that chops off Thingy's dick called?
Ramsey.
Oh, yeah.
Ramsey, yeah.
Ramsey.
Ramsey's going north as well, and it looks like they're going north. So I'm going to assume they're going to bump into each other because they're looking for Starks, aren't they? So
Yeah, Ramsey's on his way to Moat Cailin, though, and if I remember right from the map, I think that's a little bit. I thought that was a little bit out of the way, but yeah, maybe. I think I don't know. I've like I said, I've been studying up a little bit more to try to get my bearings, and because I remember thinking that myself when I was first thinking, but I still think that Littlefinger we heard at the end of last season is he was packing up, and yes, he's got Harem Hall, but he was also going to go and court Lysa Arryn in the Vale. I mean, did that ever get broken off? Did anybody ever hear otherwise for that? That was one of the last things I heard. I'm rewatching the seasons right now.
I don't
with my wife
think it
and my
was.
oldest son, and we're on like the 9th episode of the 3rd season, and they talked about that in just the last 2 or 3 episodes. And I don't ever remember anybody saying like that wasn't going to happen now. So,
I mean, now that he has Sansa, does he need the Vale?
I don't know because Winterfell is burned. You know, I don't think
he's going to.
There's nobody there.
But the Starks have always been the leaders of the North. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Sansa will take it over. Where she's like a like lordess of the North anyway.
I doubt Littlefinger would like rebuild.
I don't think Littlefinger's leading any fucking sieges of any place anytime soon. I don't. But then
They've
again,
only got to take out that one crazy chick, haven't they? I mean,
I don't know, dude. He's good with the crossbow. I mean, good fighter.
Well, I mean that dude that he was with had a good use of a crossbow, but
He's good at paying somebody to use a crossbow to shoot
Exactly.
somebody he wants dead.
The really badass like henchman like Braun or someone. He needs a really cool character. He needs his
From a Littlefinger?
He just knows.
He needs a little really badass little henchman for it.
Yeah, Littlefinger needs a sidekick, man.
That's true.
Seriously, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call him like Green Thumb or like Big
But in order to have like a cool like second in command, you need to kind of have a bit of a trust there, and I don't think he trusts anybody.
Money.
That's true. That's true, Braun. Yeah, Braun is pretty much.
He can just get a sellsword, can't he?
Yeah.
So,
He probably has cell swords. They're just not really interesting enough to show him.
I'm just spitballing here for the spin-off series, you know. So, Littlefinger's Big Adventures in Westeros.
I don't know. Do you guys think Bronn and Tyrion trust each other?
To a certain degree, yeah.
Yeah.
Tyrion trusts Bram. I think Bram still. I think Bram wants to do the right thing when it aligns enough with what he can do and money.
Yeah, I don't think it's trust. Like,
It's because he pays him, isn't it? I mean, as soon as he stops paying him, will his trust still be there? If that friendship,
I think money is the basis for the relationship. But I think that there's a respect there.
Yeah, there's definitely respect and a friendship there, but he's all about the money, though.
No doubt.
I see his character being like desert punk. If you've seen it, haven't you? Zero. He's a guy that says, I'm a bad guy. So if I stab you in the back, don't be surprised that I stab you in the back.
It's kind of angry that's how the show ended, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I hated that ending. Anyway, let's move on. Now this part is we can just go over this quickly because in all honesty, I didn't think it was that interesting. The Sam and the Gilly part. I mean, Sam and Gilly. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was filler. It was filler.
Is that filler? Was it in the books?
Okay.
It was filler.
I don't remember that part.
Sam just needs to man up.
Yeah, and even so, to me, that's a plot that would never go anywhere unless there was some importance, that baby holds. But for the most part, it kind of seemed like, hey, I don't want some of these ex-rapists that are now my brothers that have taken the black to go and basically hurt her. And I'm a pussy, I can't protect her. He's got a lot of self-worth issues.
Right.
So he went and kind of shipped her off, and she's now like the whorehouse babysitter. She's like the daycare for the horse.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we don't want you to get raped, but we're gonna send you to this extremely sketchy place with a shitty bed.
He doesn't want a Jamie type to stumble upon her.
Yeah.
Jamie type. One of those Jamie types.
Yo, next thing you know, Jamie shows up at the wall and.
Well, and who knows what she looks like underneath that whole deal? Because like that Ingrid chick or whatever, when they first showed her, I was just like, all right, whatever. She seems like she's got kind of a halfway cute face, And then all of a sudden, she finds a hot spring and she's butt naked in a hot tub with Jon Snow, and I'm like, damn, like she was hiding some nice shit underneath that dirty exterior.
You know that she's a porn star?
I would not doubt that.
Is she?
She is. There's celebrities in the show that are porn stars.
Wait, is it her though?
Already?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Porn star?
No, I think you're mistaking her with Tyrion's prostitute.
No, she is also.
Okay.
Yeah, Shay got her start in porn, from what I heard, or whatever. Or used to be a porn star or something. Which you can tell because her acting is
Porn star level.
leaves a little bit to be desired. You know what I mean?
Yeah, her accent is. It's
Her
thick.
voice sometimes.
Her voice is thick.
The most dedicated prostitute in Westeros. She's a working girl, but
Clingy as
she
fuck, man.
only
For a
wants her
prostitute.
midget. Oh, jeez.
I don't know if this would be a spoiler, but Xaladin, will we see her again? And please tell me no.
Wait, who?
What's her name? Shay, yeah, Shay.
Shay? Oh, come on! I can't tell you that. Come on.
Oh,
That means yes then.
You guys, okay. Let me just say, if you haven't noticed, like every character has like a huge like part. There's no one that's gonna be just sent away. Okay, let's put it this way: if someone's ever like
She's gonna
sent
get the
away,
Ned Stark treatment.
if someone's ever like sent away like that, they're probably gonna have like a really really important part at some point.
Okay.
All right.
That applies to all characters.
I think I know what that part is.
Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. All right, so we can get rid of the whole Sam and Gilly part. It's not really interesting at all. All right, next we get the Stannis part. I do Stannis and Sir Davos. So talking about
Onion Knight, yes.
The Onion Knight, man.
Yes.
Joffrey's dead. And
Second favorite character.
I love Sir Davos, man. He's awesome.
He's cool.
He's a cool dude, man. I respect him a lot.
And the literacy rate of HBO viewers and subscribers has gone up by 19% in the last year because of Sir Davros and his Hooked on Phonics book series that he's putting out. I like the guy too. But honestly, I always laugh when I come upon that plot device that they use because it's so like it's uncomfortable and it's like But you realize there's obviously people, especially in those times, that it was. If you were a commoner or not highborn, you would not know how to read, So I just like how he fumbles through it. You know what I mean? It's like you can tell that he's totally just like It's like he's trying to say the words the wrong way. It's funny.
That's true. That's true.
He's cool, but he's cooking some kind of plan up though, huh?
Yeah. First, he's talking about the Golden Company, this mercenary, sellsword group that he could possibly, hire. First, I don't know why Stannis would be so against that. Like he said, you're using blood magic. I think that any option would be available at this point. Why do you give a shit? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, what he's gonna do is because obviously he's gonna get in contact with like the bank and shit. So I don't know if he's gonna take out some sort of loan to buy that army for the sellsword.
And put it on the King's Landing tab.
Yeah, basically. Put on Stannis' tab when Stannis becomes king.
This is my right. I have to press my claim. And he tells the bank and shit, cut off the funding to King's Landing.
Give me a loan.
Well, doesn't King's Landing own a huge debt to the Iron
Oh,
Bank.
yeah, and
Isn't that the Lannisters?
yeah,
though?
no,
The Lannisters are
the Crown does too, and the Lannisters also owe money. But that Iron Bank of Bravos, I look at as almost like you see in like the spy movies and shit, like the Swiss bank account that they're, like they don't care that like 200 million is getting transferred in and like wired out. They're just like, whatever, we're just taking a fee for moving the money, We don't care if it's illegal. We're in Panama or wherever. There's no. So that's how I look at the Iron Bank of Bravos. Is that's like the World Bank or whatever, that the governments will have to go to borrow from. And whatever they're going to pull with them, though, I think is going to be pretty cool and clever, though, if you think about it. And I've thought of a few different scenarios, but I don't know. Seems like it'll work out for them.
All the people from Bravos, they're fucking badass assassins. I mean, you don't want to own their money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're the worst people to owe money to.
Yeah, the first thing I thought was definitely some kind of loan, maybe, or they can somehow manipulate the bank in order to get the money they need. I don't know, we're gonna have to see. But obviously, he has some kind of plan cooking, and we'll see. I don't really know.
He's gonna take out a big ass loan.
Yeah.
Don't you need credit to have a loan?
Fuck that, because with the army, you'll take King's Landing.
Man.
It's got to be that. I mean, it can't be anything else that he's gonna get the money from there.
But that bank is gonna trust his word. If you were a bank and someone said, "Oh, give me 200 million gold pieces. I'm gonna go buy an army to go to maybe invade this and maybe conquer it. I don't know." And then if it succeeds, then we'll pay you back.
What if he goes to the bank and he goes and says, "I'm pressing my right as claimant to the throne and this and this and that, and by Westeros law and rule, this is what's supposed to happen." But we know obviously that some people just do shit even though they want to anyway. Maybe the bank cuts off funding for the war because he says there's this war going on that you're funding that is keeping an imposter on the throne, a usurper, whatever they would they call it, someone that it's not their right to be on the throne. It's being controlled and manipulated.
And the Lannisters owe a shitload of money as well, so why wouldn't
yeah, so I'm just saying, so maybe like it cuts off funding to them, which severely hurts them. It's kind of a pussy back way to do things, but it would severely hurt them in their war effort. I mean, wars cost money, which they've taught us all season long. So
politics, fucking demon fanny babies.
Demon vag babies,
Yeah.
He's willing to do whatever it takes, man. I gotta respect standards.
King's blood leeches, pussy babies. Now he's gonna write a fake note to the fucking bank.
Pussy.
And I do wanna
going all in.
Pussy babies.
All babies are pussy babies.
Is there any other type of baby?
Pussy demon baby is actually what I meant to say. I got ahead of myself over there. So. Pussy demon, yeah.
I think most babies are pussy babies, I would say.
I was not a pussy baby.
Well, you could be C-section, I guess, but that's still, I guess.
Thanks for catching me on that. I did. I missed a word. I appreciate that. It's all right. You got one by me.
All right. I do want to correct myself. When they were throwing the leeches into the fire, I thought the third name was Tywin, but it wasn't. Apparently, it was Balon Greyjoy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I made a mistake last week by saying it was actually.
I saw somebody called you out on that, and then I happened to see the episode because we were watching a couple of them yesterday with my son and whatnot. And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's right."
I make mistakes. I'm sorry.
I know it happens. It happens.
There's a lot to remember.
Why waste on him?
I made my mistakes. It's Balon Greyjoy, so Balon Greyjoy's gonna get his fucking dues, which I'm very happy to see.
I hate that guy so much.
I just cannot wait for
Why are you hating on Balon Greyjoy? No,
because he's a dick.
He's an asshole.
He's a
He's a fodder character. Fucking get rid of a head honcho,
And when Theon went out to him, when Theon first went out to him, that castle is so fucking dark and bleak and wet and everything. I wanted to slip my wrist, man, or hang myself in the bathroom when I saw it. It was just so they got like one fire going in the corner, it was just so depressing looking. I was like, no wonder you want to invade and try to take over areas. Nobody want to live on this island.
I prefer that place to Stannis', man.
Really?
Yeah. Really? Stannis makes me like...
Stannis lives in a cave.
Stannis' daughter's bedroom has bars on the door. Like, what the fuck?
That's probably the wife, though. That wife is crazy.
Everybody's got it bad, though, man. Daenerys, since season 1, has been traveling across the world's largest fucking desert. I mean, they've been on the water once, and other than that, it's just big barren desert area to big barren desert area.
Considering how hot it is in that fucking desert, how is she still so damn white? That's all I'm wondering. She ain't even got a tan, like really? Like, I don't know.
She's getting too cocky for my liking. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
I like the cocky.
We'll get to that. But I do want to talk. That's a good point, Dad. But that part kind of like annoyed me. But what were we talking about? Stannis. Oh, fuck. Stannis is gonna do some shit. Okay, moving on. The Oberyn conversation. Let's skip the whole. Let's skip the whole man-ass part. Okay.
Like, he slapped it like so. Like,
forcefully.
Oh my God.
Nearly slipped a fucking finger in there, Christ.
I think the actor who plays Oberyn, seriously, I mean that dude must be running both ways, you know.
Honestly, like, okay, can I just say one thing real quick? Has anyone else found the fan service this season to be horrible, like just lacking?
I know they've cut down on the boobies. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah.
We did see a couple boobies in this episode, but
for like
for every boobie we're seeing just as much penis. So I don't know if it's
yeah, that's the thing. I don't need to be seeing the tip of some guy's dick, man.
Yeah, man.
I blame Daenerys. That contract she signed.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to show anymore. Yeah.
Actually became famous, right?
What?
Especially since
one naked scene every season for her. That's
I mean, especially since that's how she became famous in the first place.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. We still got those scenes to look back to and think fondly of. So it is what it is. But that conversation between, like I said, Tywin owned this episode. He was able to take one of the Lannisters' biggest fucking threats to the crown and to him himself, because fucking Oberyn wanted to murder his ass. And basically convince him to help the Lannisters out in the future. And
he never agreed. He didn't.
Come on, there's no way he's not going to turn. He sold.
Yeah, he didn't agree, but he sold the shit out of me, man. And you know, and I've been in sales for more than a decade.
I mean, he's on the judges panel, so to speak, for Tyrion's execution. So you can assume that he's going to agree. I mean, you're the book learner, so you know more than I do, but you know.
And
unless he agrees to it and has his own agenda.
And another thing. I think this should have shown you. Tywin's like one of my favorite characters, but this should have shown you he's kind of scared. He's kind of getting scared at this point.
Well, he should be.
Well, sure. He explained to him everything that's going on. I mean, the Greyjoys are an open rebellion up north. I mean, everything is Daenerys is across the sea with dragons and every fucking
he's got enemies coming from every angle.
Yeah, there's people coming from everywhere, and then
he has there's monetary problems that he has with
the monetary
bank.
But I mean, and from the north, they're getting double butt fucked, man, because you've got the 100,000 Mance Raider wildlings coming south, right, from up north, and you've got reports of, and the men on the wall have seen the White Walkers. They're coming too, you know. So, you know, I mean, who is not coming to wipe out King's Landing and just Westeros in general at this point?
Yeah, Joffrey's just got killed, so he's slipped in the power of.
It's pretty intense, though. But he knows that he has to, in a time like this when a king has been killed, even though the whole realm knows that Joffrey was a joke and everything else, it's still a king that has been murdered. And that happened on his watch. So he has to assert himself, and I thought that was great with what he did with Tommen and then what he did later with Oberyn. He stole the show. He absolutely stole the episode. And the way he sat there and took first he was given the Inquisition about the poison and everything else, and Oberyn having studied it and everything else, and it was intense. Then Oberyn got up and started throwing that shit back at him about the stuff with the mountain and raping him, and it must have been him. And I mean, just so intense and so powerful between these two. And then at the end of it, he's like, and I'll give you a place on the small council, you know. And I'm like, what the fuck, you know? I'm thinking, man, you know, keep your what is it they say? Keep your friends
keep your enemies
closer or some shit. So.
Keep your friends close. Keep your
There was one part of the conversation. There's one part of the conversation that I didn't understand what Tywin said. If anyone remembers, tell me. It was right after.
Categorically.
That was the one. I had to replay that for. Yeah, what do you mean by that?
When he said categorically speaking, the thing that I took from that, because I thought over it and what he said, he was talking about commanders don't always know what their soldiers do during times of war, and he said, so you're denying that you had any knowledge or involvement in my sister's murder.
Right.
He says categorically, meaning like the official report says I don't know shit about it, but let's face it here, I think it was kind of one of those, like, you're not going to get to me now, son, but I'll give you the mountain. I'll make that meeting happen. And I'll put you on the small council, and I need you to oversee this thing for the, you know what I mean, to help bring and show unity in the time of, Joffrey dying. So I thought it was really sharp how he did that. But yeah, categorically at first I was like, what? What did he say?
Yeah.
And I didn't really quite get the meaning of it, but that's what I
needs to solidify his power again by, getting new allies, so... And those Dawn people seem like they're pretty badass. They can fight dragons and shit, so...
They fight, they fuck everybody, whatever, so...
Secret weapons spreading AIDS.
So
leave no ass untapped. That's their.
Well, cool. That other prince, isn't he like crippled or something from getting some sort of sexual disease or some shit? I don't know.
What prince?
The other prince that didn't turn up because apparently there's something wrong with his legs.
He's got he had gout or some shit, right? Something weird like that. Yeah.
I just thought that they made that up so that Oberyn can himself get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that could have been. I don't know. I just remember when they said something about that.
Yeah, something like gout.
The wedding
rich man disease. They said.
Yeah.
Along those lines.
Damn, I actually wonder who they're gonna cast for him.
Oh, we actually see him then.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So we actually see his brother at some point.
Unintentional spoiler. Well, it's not really a spoiler, is it? I don't know.
Well, not really. It's just a character turning up.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see him. But all right, that's pretty much that conversation. Anything to add with that, with the whole Tywin thing and what it could possibly mean for the future? Because I have no clue what this could possibly mean. I mean, I know he needs as much power as he can get, but I just see this, as a last-minute ditch effort kind of deal.
So, I mean, he needs to save face in front of all these other people, and he needs to get his power back quickly. So, what better way? Yeah. Make your enemy your ally. Yeah.
Exactly, and that kind of transitions into the scene with this had me choking up, man. Podrick.
This is my favorite scene of the episode.
Man, Podrick, man, yo.
Oh my god.
Someone posted on the Facebook page something along the lines of, I wish I had a Podrick of my own. Like, I do. I wish I had a Podrick of my own. That dude is a loyal motherfucker, man.
He was awesome. He was loyal as fuck, and he winds up going into Littlefinger's brothel, and the bitches pay him for sex, man. I mean, how cool is he? Seriously, dude.
Oh. I love that scene where they're going, Braun, can you teach me what you did?
Give us details. We want to hear everything. It was great. That was a touching scene, man. That really was. And there's been a couple in a row because although I don't really like Shay too much, and I think that she is just like a really clingy prostitute, like a stage 5 clinger, Tyrion, man, is just he really is a good actor. And he's an actor that when I've seen him in things before this, there's been more comedic roles and more of just kind of what you see a lot of midgets or imps or short people, whatever you want to call them. A lot of times their roles, like in Austin Powers and stuff, Mini-Me, a lot of times they're there for the comedic value and not in many serious roles. And I think he's really hitting it out of the park, man. As far as I just watched the guy and I'm like, wow, I've been really feeling some of the scenes that he's been in.
He's arguably the best actor on the show, so.
Yeah, absolutely. But man, absolutely wonderful job. So, and especially like I said today, I was sitting there tearing up at the thing with Podrick. I was like, no,
man, tears, man.
Don't tell him to go.
Offer what is Sir Podrick? What was the name? Sir Podrick.
Sir Podrick Payne.
Sir Podrick Payne. So I was like, oh man, he turned it down. Just the moment he stopped and he's like, they also offered me something. I'm like, oh, Podrick, man. Oh, that's my dude right there.
I fucking love Podrick.
I hope we see more of them. Xaladin did say a couple minutes ago that they wouldn't send characters away and never see them again. So maybe
Tyrion's got all the good minions too, man. Ram, and he's got Podrick. I mean, man,
that stands for every character in this series. They send them away. No.
So yeah, so I hope Podrick will maybe testify or something, on Tyrion's behalf, or someone's got. If Tyrion dies, I'll be so mad, yo.
Yeah,
I'll be so fucking disappointed. I know this is Game of Thrones.
They can't kill him, but they can kill anyone. It's no.
Exactly. It's Game of Thrones, man. They don't fuck around, but they can't kill Tyrion.
It'd be such a massive loss to the series if he does.
No one is safe in this whole series. No.
I understand that. Doesn't mean I gotta like it if it happens, man.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It would be good for the shows, just like any stance on anything can happen, any time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what the first season taught me because I went into it with good versus evil. It's the Starks versus the Lannisters type of thing, you know. And then they cut Ned's head off, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I mean, I was mad. Like, and my wife was like, "You want to watch the next episode?" We were watching on on demand, you know. And I'm like, "No, I don't." You know, I was so pissed off. I just wanted to go to sleep. You know, I was like, "Fuck this." And
I was like, how's this series going to survive now Ned's dead? I was like, shit.
And I went into it with the mindset of just hearing this Game of Thrones is great, you know, and I didn't realize it was like a medieval fantasy type soap opera. I thought it was going to be more like dragons in every episode and like, you know, just sorcery and crazy battles, you know, like that sort of thing. So I went into it with the wrong mindset, you know, but then as I started to, once I got into the second season, I was really like, wow, this is really epic, you know, and there's some great foundation that's being built upon here, and then I started liking it for what it is, you know, not what I thought it might have been.
Definitely, it's something.
Did anyone make the connection between Podrick and the Executioner?
No.
Yeah, they're related. They have the same Pain, Ilan Pain, Podrick Pain.
Talking about the guy without the tongue?
Yeah, that dude.
Really? They're related?
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Huh. I see. That makes things interesting. I don't know how that's gonna play in going forward, but that's good to know. But what was I gonna say? The whole Podrick scenario. We learned that Tyrion wants Jaime to testify on his behalf, but we know that Cersei told Jaime just kill Tyrion essentially. So
I think Jaime he'll help him. I don't know.
I hope so.
That might have been why Jaime did what he did. He was like, you know what, fuck this, man. I hate it that I love you. I'm just going to give it to you one more time because I am not killing my brother, you backstabbing bitch. You know, that might have been his, you know, get one more out.
The only person that can save Tyrion at this point is Jaime himself.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone can save him right now. I mean, he's fucked.
I mean, I
think he'll be fine.
It sucks for him that, let's be real. If you were at the wedding and watched everything go down, you would think it's Tyrion too. Like everything just perfectly points to him. Oh my god.
Yeah, but that's how could he have possibly planned all of that? You know what I'm saying? For Joffrey to treat him as
and even he said, you know, and even he says, he goes, I'd like to think that I'm a smart enough man that if I would have done something like this and planned I wanted Joffrey dead. You know what I mean? He said, it's no great loss to me, right? But the point is that I wouldn't. I'm smarter than to implicate myself as the person that, you know. And I really think that hopefully somebody cooler heads will prevail and they'll realize that, you know.
Well, if they're you know, playing Podrick against him, giving him offers, it doesn't look good for him. I don't know how we can get through this trial without being the murderer.
If you remember though, Tyrion and Joffrey have hated each other for forever.
Yeah.
I mean, if I remember correctly, I think Tyrion pulled a knife on Joffrey at his wedding.
Yeah.
At Tyrion's wedding, yeah. He
slapped the shit out of him in the first episode of the first season.
Yeah, in the first episode.
Yeah.
Slapped the fuck out of him before he was the king. He slapped the shit out of him after he was the king, you know, and he was just like, you just struck the king, you know, remember that one? And then Tyrion was just like, yes, and my hand didn't turn to ash, you know. And but I mean, he just straight up nailed his ass, you know, and then he threatened to cut his dick. He said at the wedding he was drunk and he stabbed the knife and he said, well, then you're going to be fucking your wife with a wooden cock, you know, on her wedding night or whatever. And I love that. Tyrion's the guy. So
yeah, he said that somebody set him up in this episode. So do you think, since we know that Littlefinger had something to do with it, maybe Lynn Tyrell possibly, do you think that they set him up on purpose? Is this all some kind of ruse on their part to set him up?
He's a scapegoat, clearly. I think definitely.
Yeah. It's a shame.
And then the other Lannisters is just going to use that to get rid of him.
Yeah, because Tywin obviously doesn't care for him that much, to say the least, and obviously Cersei honestly does believe that he did it though. She does.
I mean, everyone does, except the people who know him personally. Everyone does, literally.
You think Tywin does?
Actually, yes. Yeah, I do actually. I think Tywin definitely does actually.
I think maybe Jaime's the only one that doesn't.
Yeah, I would say Jaime doesn't. Podrick, everyone who knows him knows him personally.
Yeah.
I can't see that. Tywin seems like a smart person. You know what I'm saying?
Tywin might eventually go and use this as an excuse to sacrifice his imp son that he's never cared for anyway because he's that smart. But I don't think for 1 minute that Tywin really buys hook, line, and sinker that Tyrion was that stupid to kill Joffrey at his own wedding.
I don't think it's a matter of being smart.
It just doesn't make sense.
I don't think it's a matter of being smart as much as it's a matter of you have to know Tyrion to know he didn't do it. Because like all the evidence points to Tyrion, except the fact that he wasn't prepared to be arrested afterwards. But even then, you could say that possibly Tyrion was like, "Fuck it, I'll take Joffrey down with me." I don't know.
Yeah, it's. But the thing, I mean, look, he knows. Like, for example, Tywin, when talking to Oberyn, said that he's smart enough to know that Oberyn wouldn't kill him right there and then.
Yeah.
Like. How does he know Oberyn so well, yet not his own son? It's the same situation.
Yeah, that's why. That's like I said. I just don't think that.
I think it's more of a fact that he doesn't care about Tyrion.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. So yeah, that pretty much boils it down. So if Tyrion dies, I don't know if I'm gonna be doing a live stream that week. That's all I'm saying. And we'll do it be me sobbing and complaining and bitching for an hour, but we'll see when the time comes, maybe next week or the week after. But okay, let's move on to the Wildling camp. The Wildlings basically murdering all those people, sending that child out to go tell the crows, listen, basically what happened. Essentially, try to lure them out of the Castle Black. And to go there and that whole situation. So what did you take from that whole scenario?
Brutal. That's our first death. Arrow right to the back of the head.
That's when I really got depressed because then I started thinking about it and I was like, wow, just living in the countryside is not what it used to be, Because you look at these poor people and this kid hiding underneath there, and then when the Scarface bald dude pulls him out of there, the kid's clearly shitting his pants, right? Yeah. You don't need to go he sees everybody dying. He just saw his mom get stabbed in the face. You don't need to be like, I'm gonna add insult to injury, like that was unnecessarily brutal. I'm going to eat your mama, and then I'm going to eat your daddy. Run to Castle Black and tell them that. It's like, dude, that kid was going to run shit in his pants the whole way, make it to Castle Black, and be like, they're fucking stabbing people and killing them, and they're eating them too. Who cares?
I thought he was going to go after Grindrit, because he was like looking at her, just that face of rage, like, man, you just killed my father. And then he gets pulled under. It's like, I thought he was going to go for a kamikaze and try and kill her.
Ingrid was cold-blooded this episode.
She was
too, and that's a shame because I had hope for her, being enough in love with Jon Snow. Oh, Jon Snow, that she would actually go and break away from or do something to betray the Wild, and she still may. But I feel like, dude, what a shitbag, dude. You're like shooting kids with arrows from like 40 yards out, man. I don't know. So
she's not bad with the fucking bow, man. She can really.
Yeah, I definitely want her at my side. So.
Exactly. So and then Jon comes to the whole plan after the two crows come back. I forgot their names. Do you know those two crows' names that came back in this episode? I forget
their names off the top of my head, but they wound up escaping from the whatever that guy's name was, Castor. Was it Castor? Craster.
No, Craster's already dead. The people that.
But they were talking about they were at that the people that killed him.
Craster's Keep.
And the mutineers, the ones of the Black that defected.
Exactly.
Had the mutiny, so they escaped them. Is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, and Jon made a great point. Like, I wasn't really thinking about this, but if all those wildlings come and they find those guys and they torture them and they reveal that there's only 100 fucking people there at the wall, it is gonna send the entire force at them, and they're not gonna be able to stop it. They can't stop Mance Rayder with 100 fucking people. So it's gonna be really cool to see Jon take his forces and take his revenge and kill that motherfucker next. Those motherfuckers next.
I like when that guy goes, I don't think I can kill 100 wildlings. I was like, nah, you probably kill like one, and then you're dead.
Did you guys though? Did you really think when you look at the numbers now? Mance Rayder was reported to have 100,000 coming north of the wall, and even if that's exaggerated by half, 50,000, right? And he's got ogres and giants and shit with him, right? Yeah. Do you really think that 100 or 1,000 or even 10,000 are going to hold that wall? I mean, who cares? When I heard that, the difference between 100 and 1,000 men, yes, it's great, but they've got guys attacking. They've got a raiding party coming from the south. And even if he only has 50,000 from the north, just charge. I mean, what the fuck? They can't do anything. You're gonna eventually break through that gate. The wall is thick, but they have gates. You bust through the gates, man.
Yeah, that's true.
And nobody's coming and shooting at you from. It said the wall's 700 feet high. So nobody's shooting at you from the clouds 700 feet high. The top is above the clouds.
They can always like bottlenose them in, though, couldn't they? And some sort of defense, because if they're only going to come through that big one gate, then
I suppose. But anyway, I'm not talking the defense strategies. I'm just saying like the difference between 100 or 1,000.
Right. Yeah.
When you're outnumbered that greatly, it's almost like a negligible number. Is what it's getting at, you know. So.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But I think the wall is just the first hurdle in their ultimate plan to just go south. So they don't want to lose a large amount of people when they can just do some things, you know, when they can take the wall without losing as many people, I guess you could say. Going through it kind of like a roundabout strategy. I mean, they could just overthrow the wall with all those people if they really wanted to, but they'd lose a lot trying to climb the wall or trying to break that gate because if they're trying to get through the gate, there's only one gate. That's all. Even if it's only 1,000 people, they just need to defend one gate. Arrows or dropping shit on them even though the wall's high or some kind of strategy they could use to defend that one gate. I mean, reinforce it completely. They could do something.
You would have thought since they've been there for like hundreds of years, they must have some sort of like strategy to defend it.
Well, and the thing that makes no sense either is that it's not just one gate. That's one gate at Castle Black, but what I've been reading up on is the wall is 300 miles wide. And there's like 17 or 19 castles on it, and Jon Snow went and spilled the beans last year and said only 3 of them are actually manned with people. Right. So with that information right there, honestly, if I was the wildlings, I wouldn't have even climbed the fucking wall. I would have met back up with Mance Rayder and said, hey, this castle, because they all have to have an entrance, I'm sure, out into there. They're not going to have 300-mile stretch without. And that's why they wanted to know which ones were defended, and they could just go through one of the vacant castles, So.
I think the if I remember correctly, the only actual entrance is Castle Black.
Is it Castle Black? Okay.
Yeah, that's the only actual.
That's the only way through. Okay. All right. I was assuming that they had one at least at each one of the castles, because 300 miles is a pretty big stretch, but.
And I think you need to open it. I think you need to go around, and open it from the inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see when they attack. So I guess my point was that you won't risk a few people to go out and kill these wildlings that are attacking villages in the south because that's what they want you to do, divide, and so they can divide and conquer. But you're going to go back out into the north where clearly that there's been reports of walkers. There's wildlings everywhere. You don't know where Mance Rayder is, and you're going to go back to this caster's place to kill a couple of guys so they hopefully won't get captured and talk and tell them that you have 100 instead of 1,000. It seems like an unnecessary step to me, but a risky step,
they've got to take.
Yeah, if you think so, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out, I guess.
Yeah.
True, very true. So that was that whole scenario, and then after that we go with Khaleesi, the final part of the episode, which it just seemed like it was the same stuff we've been getting with her, repeated. I'm being honest. I didn't think that this is that great. I mean, I like the duel. Or if you can call it a duel, just one shot.
Second.
I thought that was funny with pulling the dick out and shit.
Horses are stupid.
It was funny. I'll give it that. And the character's name. See, I'm forgetting character names. The one that Dario. Thank you very much. I don't know. Maybe I warmed up to him a little bit more with this episode because he was such a dick about it. And kind of just, but. I don't know. I like to see other people get their shine. Like Grey Worm, I wanted to see him fight. You know what I'm saying? I want to see some.
I'd still like to see Sir Barristan whip some ass, man. He's like Social Security. I want to see him kill somebody, man.
He's joined way before the other Dario joined, and he hasn't gotten any shine. And Dario's gotten all the fucking shine. Like, I get it. Dario's great. He's gonna fuck.
If you remember, he had that conversation with Jamie and Robert, and they're talking about how he's like one of the greatest swordsmen that they've ever seen and shit. So it's like, come on, I see this motherfucker ruin some people.
Everybody keeps talking about that. Even when Jorah saw him, he's like, oh, this man is the greatest warrior in all of Westeros, Khaleesi. And she's just like, oh, really? And all of a sudden he's joining. I'm like, cool, we're going to get to see him fuck somebody up, and that was like last season.
I know.
So,
maybe they're saving him for someone special. I don't know.
I mean, I thought the scene was cool. I thought Dario, I thought it was cool what he did. I liked how he stood there. I pulled the knife at the last second, dropped the horse, and then just slit the dude's head, and then just started pissing. I thought it was great. But I don't like the character that they recast of the actor that they recast either. I like the original guy. I'm rewatching that third season now. And the guy that did play him in the third season, man, he's just got like these piercing blue eyes, and he's honestly just like a real suave dude. Everything like rolls.
I wanted to punch him in the face. A little bit
gruffer. Well,
I wanted to punch that old guy in the face.
You want the old guy in the face, really?
I hated. He looked like a fucking ghetto Fabio. Ghetto Fabio. That's why I saw him like some like holy.
I think he looked like the part that he was playing, which was like this suave fucking.
No, he played the role well. That's why I wanted to punch him.
No, okay, good. I just don't like the new guy. I think he's just sort of rough looking and unforgettable.
To transition into the new actor's been a bit like, I don't know, I don't like it.
Like, you think that if they would have introduced him from the beginning without switching actors, it would have been better? Or do you think?
Yeah, because then at least we would have been, that's that guy. But now you see him again, you're going, who the fuck's he? And you have to remind yourself, oh wait a minute,
because when I saw him with doing the thing with Grey Worm and the challenge and everything they were doing, my wife had to tell me. She's like, yeah, remember that's the dude. It must be a different guy, or that's that guy that was trying to have sex with Khaleesi. And I was like, oh, okay, I remember. And then I wound up reading about it that they had recast him. So
seems like every episode he's closer and closer to getting the poon, man. I'm just saying, he's getting every episode.
Smooth operator.
Yes, man.
I just like how, even though it is kind of a rinse and repeat and it's a slow burn with Daenerys, I really do like the whole platform that she's built herself on. As far as I thought in season 2 she was entitled and whiny, and I thought that in Karth she ran into that, and she finally ran into a brick wall. And then at the end of the season, when she saw that dude had the empty vault, and she said, "Thank you for teaching me this lesson," I think she learned that it wasn't about whining to get what you want. It was more along the lines of, I am the rightful heir and the queen, and I have to start acting like it. And then I enjoyed her in season 3, and I've enjoyed it so far in season 4 because we've only seen her twice, And although it's kind of a redundant type of thing, I feel like almost like playing the first Assassin's Creed game. Going to one city, killing the target, and then going to the next city, killing the target. It's the same type of thing, but man, that broad, I can't deny it. She is building an army right there. Man.
She's the most fighting force.
Yeah,
it seems like she's getting mad cocky now that she's getting all this power.
She is.
I'm thinking to myself, is like, you've never truly been battle tested yet. You've only fought like slaves and people that have just given in straight away. You've not had a proper fucking get in there battle, and I don't know how she's going to handle that when she has that first proper big battle with someone that's got.
Well, she's not going to be leading the troops or anything. I mean,
I think you're right about that. But on one hand, but on the other hand, you have to look at her. The way she's going about it is so different than anybody else. Everyone else that fought for Ned Stark or Robb Stark or whatever, it was because they're bannermen. Tywin Lannister, they're either paid or it's their duty because they live on those lands, or they've committed to that treaty and they're a bannerman, right? Many of them don't want to go off and do this, so they're fighting, most of them against their will, most of them untrained, everything else.
Yeah, that's true.
She's picking up people and saying, hey, listen, you want to follow me? Great. I'm the rightful heir, and I'm going to take over Westeros and the Seven Kingdoms, but if you don't, fine, you're free to fucking go. And that's a totally different approach, so I think the people that are fighting for her are going to fight that much harder because they want to be there. Now, some of them maybe are stupid, But
if you look at it this way, when she goes over the sea finally and her fates, you've got to remember that all these different bannermen from all these different places, that's their homeland, that's their place. And if you've got fucking dragons coming down on you and shit, you're going to want to defend where you live, because you're not going to want someone ruling over you with dragons, the Mad King and all that sort of stuff again. So
yeah, you'll fight harder at that point. But
I get what you mean though with the slaves though.
Yeah, but that was my only thought about that, was that I agree with you about her getting cocky, but I almost feel like at this point it's justified, because what she's doing is she's built something from nothing. When she even says at the end of last year with the Second Sons that Dario was with, and they say, well, you don't have ships, and she goes, yeah, well, a year ago I didn't have this. 6 months ago I didn't have this. Now I have. So, I mean, I think she's really making, out of everybody, I think she's making the most progress and the best run at the throne, and and seems
I just feel she's destined to fail. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me say
things are going too well. Things are going too well for her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think that there was a hint of that failure in this last episode before this, with the dragons turning on her for a small amount.
Yeah. She can't control them. She's losing control already.
I mean, how did the people in the past control the dragons? I think she has to maybe.
Well, they always said they never technically did. So.
They never fully controlled them. Yeah. It was kind of one of those things, like, how there's people that actually have like a tiger or a wolf, and that they've raised it from birth and everything. But then all of a sudden, like the Siegfried and Roy deal, it just snaps and fucking whips you in the face. It's still a wild animal, So I think that's kind of what they're getting at, is that you can't fully control them. You can try to tame them the best you can and keep them around you and interested, but ultimately they're not always going to go and sit when you tell them sit.
I mean, but the fact that they are Targaryens and she is the dragon. She's not able to be burned by fire. That must mean she has some kind of special destiny with a fucking dragon or something along those lines,
That's
right?
what I thought, yeah, because especially because the eggs had been dormant for hundreds of years, and then she wound up going in the fire with them because of these visions and everything else, and she comes out unscathed and with 3 baby dragons. So yeah, it seems like there's some mystical, magical, like old world magic or some shit, I guess you would call it. At least with her.
So maybe
That's
there's some kind of secret. I don't know. Maybe there might be some kind of secret to controlling them. I don't know. But we'll see.
It's going to be interesting if we get Stannis and all the like going up against the dragons. I mean, some proper wacky stuff.
That would be awesome. That really would be awesome.
Stannis breathes fire on the dragon.
Stannis, you don't want to fuck with Stannis on the battlefield, man. There are very few people I think that can take Stannis. Stannis is that dude, man.
Stannis is the grit, like I said last week.
He's
the
respect
yeah, because I was just when I was rewatching the scene at Blackwater, man. I mean, Stannis was right up there leading the charge, dude. He was up on the frickin' on the parapets and neck killing guys and everything. I was like, damn, you're like front lines, bro. You're supposed to be king. You can hang back like 2-3 rows,
He wanted to take it with his own 2 hands.
He's a fucking.
He's like his brother,
man.
though, isn't he? So he goes in there.
Yeah. That's true. Robert was a beast too.
You know the funniest thing? I think if it wasn't for Tyrion, Stannis would probably be king right now.
That's true.
Which is a weird thought because I like both of them, but damn, come on, Tyrion.
Well, Tyrion would be dead then.
That's true.
yeah, that's true, but come on, man.
Everyone would be dead.
If it wasn't for a lot of things, if it wasn't for Littlefinger being a double-crossing, 2-timing bastard, then it wouldn't have. Joffrey would have never hit the throne, and Stannis would have gotten over there, and Ned was keeping it warm for him until he got there. So, there's
a lot of what ifs, man.
A lot of scenarios like that.
Exactly, but going back to Daenerys, the way that she went about this episode, it makes me think that she's not really looking for a full frontal assault. Like, she's maybe looking to change the minds of the slaves to revolt against their people. You know what I'm saying?
To cause some dissension amongst the ranks,
Exactly, because
she's never been battle tested yet, and it's like, what will happen when she finally? Even though she's got this incredible army, it's still like, I don't know. I've got a feeling like she's gonna fail.
I don't know what's gonna happen when she goes over, but I think I don't know. I think the people that were on the Mad King's side during the rebellion might support her when she goes over.
That's
they
true.
might. Yeah, that would make sense to support the claim to the throne because even Robert said in the first season, there's still those that call me usurper. So even after 17 years, there's still many that are like they grudgingly accept that they have to like live by the rule of the 7 kingdoms and all that bullshit, but they're not cool with it, So, and we know that there's a lot of not fans of the Lannisters, and that sort of thing. So
off the top of my head, I think the Dornish would probably support her.
Didn't they fight him previously though?
Yeah, they were with the Targaryens.
I mean, didn't in this episode essentially basically the Tywin essentially gained the favor of the Dornish with his little negotiation?
I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. But I think the
way that you're phrasing it,
it's rough having Zalin on here because he's not a good actor at all, so he does not hide this stuff well.
The way you're saying this makes me think that eventually down the road Tywin's gonna get betrayed, maybe possibly by.
I'm not gonna. I can't. Jim said I'm not a good actor. I know. I can't say anything. Can't say anything. But I think the Ironborn would support the Targaryens, since they hate everybody.
The Greyjoys,
Greyjoys, the Greyjoys.
Maybe.
Gotta pay the Iron
but they're up north though, so won't they have problems with the fucking wildlings and the White Walkers and all that sort of shit? I mean,
probably.
They're gonna have their own problems. So.
They have to pay the iron price.
I mean, now think about it. Like Daenerys, if she learns about King Joffrey's death, you think that she'd want to sail across the Narrow Sea as fast as possible, right? Because most people will support her now. Now that Joffrey's dead, now there's so much chaos going on in King's Landing. It'd be the perfect opportunity for either Stannis. Well, Stannis doesn't have troops, like he said, so he can't do anything.
Right now, no one could really stop her.
Yeah, she doesn't. I don't know though. You know what though? She hasn't seemed too concerned with news from Westeros to me. Have I missed something, or maybe that's something I haven't picked up? I don't think she
doesn't even know it's happened.
Yeah, I don't think she's gotten much news of anything of recent from Westeros. So
well, I mean, she has knowing about that.
Yeah, the only way the people in Westeros knew about her was because of Varys. Varys has like people.
Yeah, some of his spies and shit.
She doesn't have anyone like that.
Because she's a little bit out of Raven's reach, you know. She's not getting regular news reports from Westeros, man. She's like hundreds of miles from the Narrow Sea, as far as I know. And then I don't know how far across that is, but it's not like they're getting regular information. I think across, unless it's maybe through like a spy or a.
Wait, I'm curious. Did you guys find out yet how Varys was getting the information from her? Or
Varys getting information from who?
From Daenerys, like what was going on over there. I don't know if they mentioned it.
No, they didn't. No, we never got anything concrete. Never got anything concrete that I know of.
We didn't even know that Varys was getting information from Daenerys, so.
Well, not from Daenerys, but like about her.
Well, yeah, about her. He's how they found. We knew that from season 1. He's the one.
They've never showed the source though. Where that information's come from. So.
He just has my little bird.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, if he hears anybody, any bird, so to speak, or people across the Narrow Sea, I mean, her conquests are not being, in the secrets or in the shadows. She's out in the open, like, I'm going here, now I'm going here. She's not being quiet about it. So I think that'd be pretty easy to kind of learn about this kind of information.
I think information is going to be spreading across the land too, because you got to remember that she's taken over some fairly large cities now. So it's the real deal. The last one I think had a couple 100,000 slaves in it. So that's a good sized city. So word's going to travel.
This last city's not a small place. You know what I'm saying? So. After she does her thing here, I like, how many slave cities are you going to go to before you have your army of slaves to go ahead and what is she waiting for? Ships? Does she have ships?
The thing is who the fuck's going to fight her? I mean, if she's going to have like 100,000, 200,000 soldiers and ships and dragons, and right now there's
I don't know, but I mean, like at the last city that she was at, that Astapor or whatever, I mean, they straight up came out and were like, we'll give you ships and like pay you to just like leave us alone, like go to Westeros and do it. You got your army. I think they were going to give her people, they were going to give her money, ships, and she was like, no, we're going to take the city. And so she's just, then there's slaves in there, so she sees that as more soldiers, more bannermen, and of course just the whole like hating slavery, she's the ultimate.
And unless she like runs, there's like another big city or faction or army on that side that she's on and she runs into, I don't know. I can't see anyone really stopping her because no one's got a big army at the moment. Everyone's in complete tatters.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole idea behind what she did was that she's trying to cause a dissension amongst the ranks, and ultimately this looks like a pretty well guarded, maybe fortified city that probably has a decent force in there, but she realizes that a slaver type city, the biggest population is going to be the slaves, and maybe you can turn some of them from within and not have to have a prolonged siege. Because that's one of the things that she said. She goes, I want to lose half my army on the way to Westeros, Right. So far she's been able to kind of wiggle a lot of things and be what seems like a smart war strategist, without having to open her legs, So.
It kind of reminded me of I play Rome Total War 2 on the PC, and you can like send these little spies into the city to like on big slave cities to like have them revolt against the city itself. So that kind of reminded me of that. So like, I mean, it makes sense. You don't have to sacrifice any manpower. You cause ascension of the ranks, and then maybe you can do some kind of espionage type shit, and then just take the city like they did with the last city. So.
Go look at the comments. People are posting spoilers like crazy.
I don't know. Are they?
So now if they're posting spoilers, then be sure to, if you could like. We can't delete them.
I wish I could delete them, but I would just say don't look at the comments. It's like holy shit.
Well, that was good because I was scanning through them.
As much as I hate to do it, I hardly even look at the comments on my own review for it either. I can't. I try to not even look at them.
Yeah, if I were you, some of the comments that are posted there are pretty game breaking, so don't look.
Oh shit.
I mean, people can remove their own comments, so if you can like say the person's name and just
His name is Julio 1.
Julio 1, I know you. Or Cool Man, please remove your comment. I want to answer some comments and answer some questions people have, and if your comment is there, I'll get spoiled. So can you please remove it? That'd be awesome. Thanks, man. Any other one?
Let me see.
Only Xaladin reads the books, people. We understand if you read the books, you know these things, but keep it to yourself. Jim, I'm sure deals with enough spoilers as it is with his other reviews. I don't want to deal with.
It's getting so bad now, Zorbo. I can't even read the comments anymore, man. I'm trying to interact with my fans, man. I got to pay my 13-year-old probably to read some of that shit and type responses pretty soon because
I feel your pain, man. I mean,
he'll be trying to get me every day, man.
I feel bad.
I'll be all right, though. I'll be all right.
I mean, there are some minors. They're like minor spoilers, but they're not like that bad.
I see. Jamie Golden finger bang the queen. Okay, it's an interesting comment. I mean, is she technically the queen right now? I guess she is now that Joffrey's dead. She's the queen again. So yeah.
Yeah.
I want to read some of the comments, but I don't want to like spoil.
Yeah.
Just try to get to some of the comments. Okay, Todd Fowler says, if Daenerys and her army ever arrive in Westeros, they will lose badly. Their fighting style and techniques are what amounts to piss-poor versions of hoplites from ancient world. They're essentially a Greek force. They're the Spartans, dude. You know
I mean, if it was the Dothraki, then yeah, because we see that thing where he goes, remember when he has the iron plate and he goes, your sword can't pierce this, and he fucks that guy up. Then, right. Yeah, but these guys, like Zora said, they're the Spartans. They're going to ruin the fuck out of everyone.
Yeah. The Spartans only had a fucking shield, some basic cloth armor, bronze armor, and a spear, and a little short sword, and they were able to fuck shit. This is the training rather than the weaponry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, no. That's what it's about. I don't think that they would get raped in any sense.
Nah. I mean, they've got armor as well, haven't they? And they've got spears and swords. Yeah. I mean, there's no way.
They're not fighting completely naked. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So, and plus they have dragons, so yeah.
Yeah, they got dragons.
Yeah. And these motherfuckers, like they said, like they showed when they were selling it to Daenerys, like they cut the guy's nipple off and he didn't flinch. You know, so these guys aren't fucking pussies.
Yeah, these dudes are pretty hardcore, man.
All the warriors, they scream, they get scared, they run away. Even the fucking Hound got scared in the middle of a fight because of the fire and
the funny part is, what medieval fighting force are you talking about? They've already talked about in previous seasons about how Westeros and the Seven Kingdoms, there's no one united front, no one united globally trained force, so to speak, all throughout the kingdom. Everybody's taught differently. Everybody fights differently, and many of these things, like for instance, when Tywin was going together against Robb, many of those were just simple countrymen that got a lance put in their hands or a spear or a sword and had little to no training. So I would say the 8,000 Sullied are gonna put up a pretty goddamn good fight against any fighting force they go against, unless of course when you're in siege territory and you're attacking a castle or a well defended position, then you're going to lose obviously a lot of men.
They have siege weapons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they threw barrels out. But that was actually huge rocks or something that could have destroyed the buildings. Like that, even then, they seem prepared. They seem like they know what they're doing for the most part. So and they have like smart generals that are leading these forces as well. Ser Jorah's no joke, and you know what I'm saying. So I don't know. I don't agree with that. About them being weak or anything like that. No way. Not no.
Sorry. I don't think they're weak at all, but I still think they're going to lose.
Yeah, I do. But I don't think it'll be like in a straight up fight. I think it'll be some shit like she gets too cocky and makes a mistake. Or she's going
to get overconfident, and that's going to be a downfall.
One of the dragons is going to get pissed off and just light like 5,000 of them on fire.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, that could be the whole hint in that she's losing control of them. They might just attack her own force and fuck it up.
I mean, it might have something to do with. Also, keep in mind the whole speech that Tywin said today about what makes a good king or a true king. You know what I'm saying? She has power, but she lacks wisdom. She doesn't know about the different. You know what I'm saying? She's been across the Narrow Sea for how long? Like, how long has it been since she's been in Westeros? I mean, I've been in King's Landing or in that area. She doesn't know. I would think not much about the area or anything like that. So she still has a lot to learn in that respect, and that ignorance might actually end up biting her in the ass.
Yeah, I think that's where having the wisdom to lean on Sir Barristan and Jorah. I mean, because Barristan, he was really excited about this. Because remember, he served the Mad King, and then because he swore an oath, and then he served obviously Robert, and he didn't want to. You know what I mean? Either one of them. So he talked about how this is his chance. He finally got to like retire, and he doesn't have to serve the corrupt government anymore. He can really go and follow what he feels would be the best for his honor and his, so. So I think a guy like that has an extensive, intense knowledge on the inner workings of King's Landing, the court, everything, as well as I think Jorah. Jorah's a smart fucker, dude.
But she loses those 2 generals. I mean, she's in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, going back to the wisdom thing, surrounding yourself with smart people, those 2 I think are a good start.
That's true. It's good to have advisors like those.
No.
Boys, you got to read or watch Stannis and the Siege of the Greyjoy Lands. All right, maybe. Yeah, apparently I've heard some good stories about Stannis' fucking epicness, so maybe.
Yeah, dude, the lore is insane.
So I'll check that out.
Stannis and Tywin, especially.
Boys says Ned Stark comes back. Haha, spoiled you, mofo.
It's like Edo Tensei.
He's a floating head. He's like a ghost, like Obi-Wan Kenobi and shit. Except for his ghost. His ghost has no head, but he's standing there holding his head. And it's him and Catelyn and Robb Stark all talking to each other.
And exactly, and the ghosts give Bran Jon Snow the power to use a Kamehameha against.
Yeah. That's what it will be. When he gets that power from all the little tree people, it'll be Ned coming back as a Jedi Obi-Wan ghost.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You figured it out.
Time Sean Bean makes it back.
Oh, good.
I love it. And just like that, the topics and the conversation dried up.
I'm reading the comments.
Look at the comments.
We're all laughing, fighting over each other to get a word in, and then all of a sudden it's just like you hear crickets and shit.
Apparently the Greyjoys inspired by the Vikings.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I could see that. I could
definitely see that, because,
makes a lot of sense where they come from, them being, they talk about having the Greyjoys, obviously, in their ships, so obviously they're sea people.
The Unsullied do have armor. I mean, you see it, they're all wearing it. They've got that, like, greyish metal stuff. It's in the comments, don't they? They've got armor. They've got helmets.
It's not like full metal armor.
No, it's not like a big knight armor, but
Bronn pointed out that armor makes you slow. Remember when we said that? You know what I'm saying? So they might not be like a full metal, fighting force, but they could fight in different ways. You know what I'm saying? They have long spears. They keep the distance and fight in the phalanx formation, which works.
Dude, I don't care if they're butt naked, man. But when you come up to one of these dudes and you go and you just slice a nipple off, and dude don't even flinch, man, they got next level pain tolerance right there. Okay, you don't see a lot of that shit in combat. You stab me in combat, I'm gonna cry like a bitch. I am serious. I'm gonna fall down.
If you're wearing armor, that means you're scared to get pierced. But these dudes aren't scared. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. They don't have that fear. And then when they do get hurt, that pain tolerance. I can see one of these guys like losing a hand or a finger or something, just keep on going. Break broken arm and just keep on going. That's what I see from them. Just the machine.
These dudes have been hyped up too for a reason. I don't think they're.
Yeah, but they remind me of like cool desert Terminators.
I feel that. X-Wing brings up something really interesting. He says, you have material in books that are 1,500 pages long, and instead HBO gives us gay ass slaps and flongs. The female audience, or you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
HBO realized that they had to take something that, unfortunately, those type of books, I've read a lot of Stephen King books, and many of his books are 1,000+ pages, and they've tried to translate some of them into movies, some of them into miniseries, and most of them have flopped. There's been very few that have stood out. The Shawshank Redemption is one. But other than that, many of his books have not translated well to movies, and a lot of it, I think, is because they try to take and cram too much that was in that book into the actual movie, and it loses the casual viewer. The fan is happy, the fan of the book, but the casual viewer is like, what the fuck is going on? This is like way too much information for like a 2-hour, movie or whatever. And so I think that they've thrown some funny, not funny, but shock value type things at you, like you said, fan service, TNA, whatever, to keep you interested and to keep that casual viewer hooked, because most people, they don't know the difference between a Targaryen and a Stark, or you know what I mean? It's the casual viewer is just like, Game of Thrones, it's fucking awesome. I got to post it on Facebook and I got to tweet about this. And most people don't seem to really know a lot, about it. So I don't think that there's as many fans that care about the, the in-depth and the background and stuff. The things you'd find if you did more of a literal translation into a movie or TV show.
Okay, well, that's a very good point. That's interesting. I do want to address one comment though. Julio, this is not the spoiler comment. Says, remember Ned told Robert not to trust that Mormont guy because he sold slaves. That was in season 1. Does that mean that at some point, if Daenerys learned, does Daenerys know about?
Yeah, she knows
about his slave selling. She knows, right?
Yeah, she knows.
Okay, she doesn't care. Okay. Just wanted to make sure because I think that might have been like I thought that could have possibly
been a deal breaker.
Considering that she's so against it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Until you guys,
maybe that's why he's in the friend zone.
Stabs her in the back.
Maybe that's why he's in the friend zone. You know, who knows?
Yeah, maybe he gets fed up being in the friend zone.
I don't know if this is accurate, Zella, and you tell me if this is accurate. This person, Fowler, says this. House Stark is Scotland. House Baratheon is German. House Lannister is England. House Targaryen is the Potomac, Egypt, Roman Empire. I probably said that wrong. House Martell is more Spain or Sicily. House Greyjoy is the Vikings. House Tyrell is southern France. The Dothraki are the Huns, the Tatars, and the Cossacks. Cossacks. The Tullys are Hungary, and the Arryns are Switzerland.
A few of them seem pretty accurate.
I would say Starks are more Saxons than the Scottish, to be honest with you. But coming from this part of the world.
Well, that's cool. I think that most of that makes sense. That is interesting. That really is.
I agree with most of them. That I know of. A lot of them sounded pretty good and spot on.
Yeah, sounds good to me too. But I just realized that we've been doing this stream for quite a fucking long time. What have we been? An hour and a half, 2 hours. So, any other last thoughts on the episode, guys? I think we've pretty much answered most of the questions.
Pretty much covered all of it.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything. Nothing really much to say. So, I think on that note, we can wrap the stream up. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Retro Shinigami had to go. If you haven't noticed, he's been gone for like 30 minutes. So, he's gone. But, if you enjoyed the stream, then be sure to like it, and definitely some more comments, and keep the spoilers to, I was going to say to a minimum, but keep them just completely to a zero. No spoilers. If you can
I don't want to see no spoilers in the comments.
All I'm saying is if there's a spoiler, there's a block being accompanied with that spoiler, so tread lightly. But anyway, on that note, we'll wrap things up. You guys can do your sign-outs. Jim, we start with you.
Hey man, just always appreciative and happy to be here, man. Good time, good discussion, and looking forward to next week's episode. And like I said, for me personally, I just feel like each episode is getting better. Not so much the content, the action, the scenes, that sort of thing, but just as I feel more acclimated and get to know a little more about these different, the different houses and just the background and the history and everything. It's very, very cool stuff, man. Very cool stuff.
Well said. Joaquin Double Dead.
I was on Skype, so I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, good episode. See you later.
I will say to Dead, congratulations, sir, on your 5,000 subscribers.
5K for Big Dead, man.
Without doing One Piece and Naruto reviews. Respect.
That's right.
And then finally we have XaladinPalantir.
What up, guys? Of course, my review's on my channel, so watch it if you aren't already tired of watching Game of Thrones reviews. I don't know why. I just watch like a ton of Game of Thrones reviews. I have no idea why I do it, but
yeah, because it's fucking awesome.
To hear everyone's different how they took the episode, but yeah, that's it.
All right, that was Zally Pally, and that's pretty much it for our live stream, guys. If you enjoyed it, like I said, like the video, comment, and subscribe to everyone here. I'll put links to all their channels in the description box. You be sure to check that out. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. We're out. I'm ZeroFanboy124. Peace.
Sweet.